need to have some space and time to think about that. And in
Right.
that,
So we are going to. How are you doing? Good.
I'm doing good. Yeah.
Right.
And what about you?
Okay. I'm doing great. Thank you so much for asking. Now we're going to start with an extempore topic today. So, what are the rules of extempore? You will be getting two topics, and you have to talk about one topic among them.
Sorry to
And
interrupt, but like your voice is little slow. Can you please, like, it seems like you are speaking far from the device.
okay,
I don't
so
know why this is happening.
yeah, so what? That's fine. So you will be getting two topics, and you have to talk about
Okay.
one of them, and you will be on timer for 3 minutes. Okay, for that. Now, what are your choices? Number one, tricky situations often have simple solutions. Tricky situations often have simple solutions. That's
Tricky
number one.
situations.
Often have
Okay.
simple
Okay.
solutions. That's one. Number
Solution.
two is banking frauds. Number two is banking frauds.
Banking frauds.
Yes. Which
Okay.
one do you choose?
The first one, tricky situations sometimes have the simple solution.
Great. Do you need a minute to think about the topic?
Yeah.
Take a minute and then after that we will start.
So okay. I'm not sure that I can speak for 3 minutes, but I will try, like,
Yeah,
for
sure.
whatever
2 minutes
time I
will
can
be good
speak.
too.
Okay.
Great. Can we start?
Yeah.
Great. Tell me what do you think about the topic?
Uh, so in our life, we face so many situations, and we have to handle it with complete focus and concentration. So in some of the cases, we can like solve the problems directly, but sometimes we stuck at a particular point that we are not able to overcome that problem. Sometimes we need to have some space and time to think about that, and in that period of time, we can, like, if we are stucking at a particular problem, then for some time we can leave that problem and go to the next one, so that we can analyze the situation properly from cool mind and from cool and calm mind, because most of the times we stuck at a situation because we think from one angle only, but when we give time to the problem, and slowly and gradually we are able to think from different perspectives, and when we think from different perspectives, that means we can have different solutions of the same problem, and in this process we can find many number of solutions, which we are not able to solve first at the first instance. And then, for example, uh, as I'm preparing for UPSC, so I will take example from that only. Uh, in the like for pre in the pre-examination of UPSC, sometimes the question is so basic we are not then also we are not able to solve that, because we to some extent we got confused, and if we stuck at that question, we might not be able to solve the other one. So what is the simple thing we can do? We can solve the another question at that point of time and forget about the where we were stucking, and after some time we can like, yeah, we can think about it. So that's
That's your point of
that's
view.
how we can solve the problem. And at the end, I would like to say that we need to just think from different perspectives, and so that the trickiest questions can also be solved easily.
Very good. And only 13 seconds left. You know that. So you did speak for 3 minutes almost. So that was very good. Two things. One, you said we stuck, so you cannot get stuck by yourself, right? So we are stuck. We are
Okay,
stuck
we are
sometimes.
stuck.
Yeah. Another thing that I want to mention, you have said it, I think 2 to 3 times, that if we are stucking, if we are stucking, if we were stucking. No, if we are getting stuck.
If we are
If
getting stuck.
we are getting stuck, if we were stuck, like that. Hmm?
Okay.
Uh, we go, we got confused. We were talking about your prelims, when you get a tough question, you get a very simple question, but you can't think of any solutions, and what do? You get confused. So you're not talking about one incident that has happened in past. You're talking in general, right?
Yeah.
In general, we get confused with simple problems, and then we need to leave that, give it time, so that we can solve it later on. Right.
Yes.
So that was good. Keep on practicing extemporaries. Extempore will really come handy when you're giving your interview. So we are going to talk about the future, right? So talking about the future, what will
Yeah.
be the cities like after 50 years, and what are the changes that you will see in the cities? Can you tell me?
The first question is, what is the world like after 50 years?
Yeah, that's the only
I
question. Will the
Your
cities look
voice is
like?
very slow.
Yeah, and your network is fluctuating. So how will the cities look like after 50 years?
Okay. So the after the 50 years, the world will be more on machine based and less on manpower. And so, like, uh, after 50 years, the world will basically mostly depend on the machines for their work, but not the human human force or manpower. And this will create a problem of job. And
Yes.
so this will create the problem of job. There will be less opportunity in for say in factories. Most of the works will be done by machines that in today's time humans are working on. And so um,
Okay.
that's all.
Anything else? Yeah. All right. Now, the world will be more on machine work. The world will be more of machine work. So there will be more machine work than human power or manpower, right? So you
Yeah.
can say it like that. There will be more machine work than human power or manpower. Okay.
Mm.
Now talking about the changes, what changes you will see in transportation after 50 years?
Um, yes, there will be more number of highways and uh, like a better connectivity between air, land, and water as compared uh, to present time. So transportation would be better in this case. The connectivity
Then
between land, air, and water will much better.
how? How will that be better?
Um, as we are developing so fast, we have become the fifth world largest economy in the world. So with this growing pace, I think the transportation would become better with government initiatives and their work.
Okay. All right. Now, what will be the environment, or what will be the status of pollution after 50 years, according to you?
Pollution. So development has, as we can say, a coin has two sides. So development can benefit a lot of people, but along with it, we can say that it also have it will also degenerate a lot of waste, a lot of pollution. And we can see this in today's example as well, that we are generating a lot of waste in our country, and with increasing population, waste management will be difficult in. And the another thing is climate change, that is the most important thing. And along with climate change, there will be, you know, scarcity of water as well, and the monsoon will affect more strongly, I can say in this way.
You're
um,
the way you're saying, I'm crying for my future in 50. After 50 years, what will I do? Okay.
I am
Uh,
saying these lines like on the basis of a
it
report
is
I have
going. It is
recently
going
read.
to happen. No, no, it's correct. You're absolutely correct. Absolutely, there is no doubt of that. After 50 years, there will be no job for teachers. There will be robots, first of all, sitting and telling you to do things first. So, instead of Priyanka ma'am, you will have a robot teaching you. And second thing is that there will be a lot of pollution. So, do you think the government, because we are going to develop a lot, right? After 50 years, we are going to develop um, in case of science, in case of technology. So, do you think the government will not work on this pollution part?
No, I don't think so that government will not work. But along with working on this problem at the national level, the the United Nation is also working on the solutions of this climate change problem. It is a very huge problem, and we cannot say that climate changes can only disturb one country or another, or it is one's problem and not for the another. So, in thinking in this perspective, the world has coming, together to solve this problem,
Solve it.
and for this they have created a platform as well. That is UN triple C, United Nation Convention on Climate Change. And with this, they are they are working on it. Um, but there is a tussle between the east and the west. So in I think they should be more effective in their policy implementation. Policy making is something that every government do and did in the past, but the major part of it is implementation. If people don't get to know about what are the harmful effects of the pollution, they will not safeguard it, and they will not care about it at all. So we have to think in a sustainable way that for our coming generations they would also have equal part in the environment and their benefits.
Perfect. Two things I want to mention. There is nothing called very huge. So huge is huge.
Okay,
Huge is huge. Okay.
okay,
And
okay,
for the next generations to come, you can say, but for the next generations, no. For the next generation. For the next generation or for the next generations to come. Any of the two. Okay.
for the coming generations.
So
What
when
is
you're
that?
saying for the coming generations, yes, it can happen.
Okay,
Hmm?
okay,
You can say that for the coming it is bad for the coming generations to be,
okay,
right? So it doesn't matter whether it is the current generation or the next generation itself, but the generations to happen. So you can say
okay,
coming generation, that is fine. All right, so we are going to meet each other again today at 9:40, right?
yeah.
And then we will continue with our sessions. All right, how are
um
you doing, by the way? Have you took my advice and are you listening to English?
like, how can I
How can I
improve my
listen to English?
fluency in English?
Okay.
And
First,
there's another thing. I
hmm,
make a problem like O sound, with O sound.
hmm.
For example, novel. So in this way, I pronounce it wrong sometimes.
Tell me what these are.
I have to pronounce it.
Yeah.
Hotel,
Then
God.
you don't have a O problem. Maybe the that word itself. is problematic to you. So what is
In
this?
between the conversation, I made the mistake.
Hmm.
Novel.
Novel. Yeah, so maybe in between the conversation you're making it, but you know the pronunciation, so that is good.